was one of the scariest situations I'd ever been in. We was just riding road hunting, and it's me and Bubba and Danny Red. We was riding in Bubba's truck, and there's a doe standing out there, right there at the silos. Yeah, it was right at dark, so man, boom! Well, that doe went belly up. Couldn't have went in a worse spot because she went belly up to the street. So we went back, and we drank 4 or 5 beers, and me and Red and Ricky went back this time. So we go back out there, and Ricky dropped us off, and when he did, I mean, dadgum blue lights and headlights, and they's on them PAs, get on the ground now with your hands up, we're gonna shoot. And Red, he's right beside me because we running right where I seen it at, but I don't see that white spot no more. We got the deer, and man, we jumped off in the thicket, started belly crawling, and I mean, they was coming through there. It was 2 or 3 police officers. It was some game wardens. It was the landowners. It was 4 or 5 of them in
trucks. They had a posse for y'all.
They did, man. It was so scary.
Hey, welcome back to Buck Junkies. Today, I've got my buddy Malcolm Reed in here with me, who's always in here with me. And then we got a special guest today, Malcolm.
Yeah, we do, man. I'm excited to talk to Randy, man. I've heard, you don't know how many stories I've heard at deer camp about that Randy's been involved with.
It's been quite a few.
And for y'all that don't know, this is Mr. Randy Dyer. He is Mikey's younger. I'm going to say younger. I ain't going to say little brother. I'm going to say younger brother because I still think he might take you, Mikey. I don't know.
Sometimes.
But yeah, this is going to be a good one because Randy's got all kinds of stories. He's been hunting just like Mikey all their daggum life since they was knee high. Them jokers was in the woods somewhere, and I know you got a lot to tell to share with us today, Randy.
I got a few of them. I've probably forgotten more of them than I can remember, but yeah, I believe we got quite a few.
So just kind of give you a background, me and Randy, when we came up, we didn't have a whole lot of money. I mean, our parents did the best they could, come up with a bad economy, and where we lived at, there wasn't a lot of industry and things like that. So we relied on hunting and fishing and stuff like that. And some of my dad's tactics that he taught us and stuff like that might not have been, I don't know how to say it, but it was pretty much against the law.
So what y'all are saying is it might be on the edge of that outlaw territory a little bit.
Just on the edge, maybe.
But it was feeding your family.
That's right.
A lot was on the edge, right in the middle of it.
Some of it was in the middle of it?
Right in the middle of it. We didn't go hungry, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we grew up hunting and fishing and doing stuff like that. And like I said, sometimes when we found an opportunity to fill a freezer, we did it. It might not have been the right way to do it, but that's the way we done it. Yeah. And anyway, so we were going to kind of talk about some of that stuff today. And Randy has over the years, and he don't do it anymore, but he's experienced a little more of that than I have. And we're going to talk about how you can kind of prevent some of that, if you can, from people maybe trespassing or road hunting on your property. And then we're going to tell a few stories today. So y'all hang tight and we'll get with it.
So Randy, what drew you to hunting and fishing or to the outdoors? Was it just because everybody else in your family was doing it, or did you take a liking to it, or what?
Well, I didn't know nothing about it until my dad, stepdaddy, pretty much my dad, got us involved in it. And from there on, it's all we did was fish, run trout lines, rabbit hunt, squirrel hunt, anything that moved that we could eat. That's what we was after.
Heck yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's what really drawed me into it was him.
What's some of your first memories of going out hunting and fishing?
I guess it'd have been probably rabbit hunting with Terry and Uncle Billy and the Heltons and down there in the bottoms and sloughs.
Wolf Fork Woods.
Yeah, Wolf Fork Woods, that's right. Down there hunting with them, and they had all them rabbit dogs. And that's probably the first one I can really remember.
How old was you at this time? Was you old enough to tote a shotgun?
Probably 7, I want to say, maybe.
Yeah.
8, something like that. And then Terry, they'd take us deer hunting, put us up in the tree, and we had them old co-op rubber boots on, and I mean, your toes was froze within 10 minutes of sitting there.
Did he sit with you? Or?
No, he'd put us in a spot and say, all right, I'll be back. And then he'd put Mikey in a spot, okay, I'll be back, and then he'd go off somewhere. and we just sit up in the tree and wait. There's many times I'd just fall asleep in the tree.
So we got, we got into hunting at a young age, and I guess, as we got older and stuff like that, we both became pretty avid hunters, and Randy kind of went a little different direction at times.
I did.
So I guess today we'll talk about, a little bit about trespassing. So Randy, what is the appealing thing about trespassing to somebody who does it?
Well, I'd say one of them is you're not supposed to be doing it. So it kind of draws you into it. And another one is, when you see the deer out there all the time, it's, we got to get over there on that. Or you see that pond that nobody's ever around or something. So that's kind of where you want to go to. Like, man, I want to be over there. You could have the 20-acre lake here. You could have a 1-acre cow pond, and I'm wanting to go to that cow pond just because I ain't supposed to be there. I guess it kind of appeals to you like I said, something you're not supposed to be doing. And you never know what's in there, man. This thing's never been fished. We got to get over there.
Did you ever try to get permission? Or did you just go outlaw?
Well, it was hard to find the landowner back then. I remember our first trespassing was always going over to we called it the bass pond. It was right down the road. We'd go through the cow fields to get to us, to get to it. And we finally got caught one day. This old man on a tractor was out there, and he come riding through there, and we all took off running. Well, he caught us on that tractor. He said, "Y'all look like a bunch of wild Indians running out across here." Well, we was scared. Well, I ain't going to say nothing. Y'all go ahead and fish. Well, he was just one of the guys that was working the property. He wasn't the actual owner. But,
well, that was good enough permission for you, though.
That was good enough for me, yeah, from there on.
Yeah, heck, I had.
Nobody ever said nothing to me about going over there. I don't believe. Every now and then I'd park at the church, and the old lady up at the church, "Y'all got permission?" "Oh, yes, ma'am. Sure do." And I'd go right on out there and fish some more.
So I guess when you get caught trespassing, have you ever been like really just caught trespassing on a piece of property?
We talking by the law or by the owner?
Either one.
I got caught by the owner, and I was not deer hunting at the time that I got caught. And then, so that was another kind of hunting, was looking for arrowheads on his farm field, but I did get caught, and he come out, I just said, "We'd lost the hubcap out here. We was looking for it." And he said, "Well, you've lost that hubcap. You need to get off my property." I said, "Yes, sir." And I think I've never been caught by the law for trespassing. So
how many, so if you went to a piece of property, you were deer hunting a piece of property, and you were going to this place, and you knew that you'd seen, whatever appealed to you, it being a deer standing out there in the middle of the field, a big old buck, and you're in there hunting, like how many times would you go to that property?
If I never saw anybody, then I was going back. If things got a little hairy, then that'd probably stop you for a couple weeks or something, but then you'd go right on back out there. That itch, that urge would get you right back out there every time. Sometimes it'd take a few beers, and then I don't really care. I'm out there now.
What are you taking in with you? Like, we talking about slipping in there in the morning before sunlight, I guess, or walk us through what it would be like. You knew there was a deer in here. You wanted to go hunt. You wasn't supposed to be there to hunt him.
I'm going in before daylight, getting dropped off. I'm running through the thicket, getting as far off that road or away from that main drive as I could. And then I'd just sit there with my rifle until I seen what I wanted.
Hunting from the ground, I'm guessing.
Hunting from the ground. Yeah, I'd never, if I seen a deer stand, avoid that.
Yeah.
And that was before the cameras was out good back then. You had the low cameras you put on the tree, and you'd have to take them down to Walmart and get them developed.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'd avoid all that, and I'd just get on the ground, and I'd stay there, and then or have somebody come by. You hit the horn 2 or 3 times. So, if you
that was the signal.
That's the pickup.
That was the signal.
Because you didn't have cell phones back then.
No,
this is
way
way
no
before.
kind of phones. Yeah, I was going to say you wait on a call, but that was on down the road when you was calling people. But no, it was you hit the horn 3 times. Okay, I'm coming through.
Well, would you tell them how long to leave you out there, or would you just
come through about dark?
Yeah, so you're going to stay all day.
Whether I killed one or not.
You're going to stay all day.
Stay all day. If I killed one, you go gut him out and get him as close to the road that you felt safe. And
yeah.
Yeah. And then when they heard that horn honk 3 times, well, you start booking it to the street with him hard as you could.
So that was my next question. So if you got in onto a piece of property and you're in there, like if you shot something, how in the hell do you get it out without, you gonna sit there all the way till dark?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you gut him and you sit there within, I don't know, maybe 100 yards of that road, and you just sit there and you wait until that horn honks.
Did you ever have anybody come looking for you after you shot?
Oh, I have not.
Yeah.
I have not.
But you were off, I mean, I'm sure you were pretty good ways out there, too.
It wasn't as populated as what it is now, and the hunting clubs really wasn't big. And there's only several of them that I'd go on like that and go out with old John on a couple of them. I remember he dropped me off on one, and I went out there, and I was trying to get back to the road, and I heard the gate and a horn. I was like, man, he's supposed to honk 3 times. So I went running up towards that gate, and man, there's about 2 or 3 of them standing there, and they just looking at me, and I got my rifle in my hand there. And
no orange on.
No, they said, can I help you? And I said, man, I'm so lost. I was down there in the Delta hunting, and I don't know how I've got up on this ridge, and I just lied my way right on through it and started hiking down the street.
They just let you go on about
Yeah, they just stared at me like, what is this guy doing? Oh,
They had to know.
I'm pretty sure they probably did.
So that's a definite sign you caught a trespasser on your property, I guess. If he ain't got no orange on and he says he's lost, he ain't lost.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, it may be easier to ask for forgiveness than it is to say, man, I was out there trying to kill that deer.
If they had said something, we're going to call it, I'd have begged my way out of it.
Yeah.
Well, over time, though, you just throw your hands up. I'm caught, man. That's it. You caught.
So I guess if there was a piece of property or something like that you would not mess with, like you knew, like I'm not going in there. What was it about that property that kept you from going in there?
I would say prosecution, the
jail,
the word that man don't play. Don't be messing around over there. They don't play. They prosecute to the fullest. They got stuff everywhere, cameras everywhere. You ain't gonna get away with it. Word of mouth goes a long ways, to somebody like that that's out there just looking to go get an easy kill or for a big buck that they ain't supposed to be after. Word of mouth goes a long ways. So, if you want to protect your property, get them cameras on it and have people spreading the word that this thing is highly protected, and it'll get spread around pretty good. And prosecute. Yeah.
So would a posted sign stop you at all?
No. That's a
fence and a sign ain't gonna do nothing. Huh?
No, sir. Fence and a sign, you just go right on past it.
Go right on past it.
So do they have? I know they do for like houses and stuff like that. So you said the cameras and stuff like that probably keep you from getting on there. Do they make signs that say cameras in use? I know they do for a house.
They do. You can put them on trees anywhere. This property under 24-hour surveillance, and I got my own hunting club now, and that's why it kind of comes back on me the things that I've done in the past. Like,
see, that's why I wanted to hear what Randy had. I'm learning as a landowner. I'm trying to pick up on what Randy's seeing. That way, I know how I need to get my land right to keep people from wanting to trespass on it.
Well, he's got a business, doing this. So, it's kind of like that business where, that movie with Sylvester Stallone where they paid him to go into prisons and break out. Yeah. Randy's the guy that keeps you outlaws off your property. I'm just kidding. Outlaw-proof your property.
That's what I do now. Keep trespassers off properties and or off the properties where I live at. And I'm probably the best guy for the job because there ain't nothing
you ain't seen or done
that I ain't done. So I'm thinking in the back of my head, this guy here, he's going to slip that boat in there. All they got to do is just drop it off and leave. So I see a boat that I don't recognize, I'm out there after it.
I had one of them guys growing up on the lake we grew up on, Lake Patrol. Man.
Yeah.
You talk about run us off. If he saw us with the fishing pole, he was bird dogging us.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many times he run us off. We finally got us one of them passes for the lake we lived on. And he knew it. He knew we didn't live on that lake, but he couldn't say nothing when we had that pass. And then that jerker would run up and down the bank trying to scare the fish off where we was trying to fish.
Yeah.
We didn't have a boat. We was just kids.
Well, that was a bad patrolman.
Yeah.
If
He
they're not legal, I've got to kick them off.
He may or may not have had a few holes in the bottom of his boat.
In his boat.
He couldn't watch it all night long.
We've got an insurance policy. So
Yeah, there you
one of them was to get hurt out there. They got to go. And then the other ones, man, I let 2 of them slide and 5 more come in. Well, you letting them boys fish?
Yeah.
And then it's a chain reaction. Before you know it, I got 40 people out here fishing and none of them live there.
Well, I know you do the lake patrol stuff and stuff like that, and you do a pretty good job of that. And I think you're pretty fair. I think most of the time, I think you reminisce on your butt getting caught doing stuff like that, and somebody turning you loose. But another part of this is if you own a piece of property and looking at a piece of property, like another problem people have is road hunting.
Mm-hmm.
So people, road hunting, we're not talking about really just spotlighting, but just road hunting in general, what are you looking for on a piece of property if you're going to road hunt a piece of property?
It was always fields and sage grass. So anytime you riding in that sage grass or looking, on the road, you're always looking off in that sage grass for either that doe standing there and he's somewhere around if it's that perfect time of year, and you're looking for them antlers in that sage grass, or you're looking out in that green field or them green cuts. And to protect, I would recommend, because it stopped a lot of that out there where we was doing that kind of stuff at, is you plant them pine trees right up next to the road, thick, right on top of each other.
Yeah.
And as they grow up, it blocks the whole view and ruins everything for a road hunter. He can't see out there no more. So that's done. You can move on to the next one, wherever they just cleared out a new subdivision. And then you take that road down through there. Oh, a lot of times they're clearing subdivisions, and we'd go down those roads because nobody'd be on them. And technically, I guess there wasn't an owner at the time, the way we considered it anyway. So
somebody that owns a piece of property, just, on a secluded road out in the, out in the middle of nowhere, if they got fields, they're pretty susceptible to road hunting.
Absolutely. Number one. Yep. Your fields and sage grass, just keep it thick next to the road any way you can. Plant you some pine trees. They're cheap, and you can plant them thick, and it creates a wall over a few years. They grow fast.
So if you,
mm-hmm.
in your experience, when you're riding down the road and you just say you do see the deer out there in the field, and you lay down and pop it,
mm-hmm.
and you deciding right there are you going to get the deer right then?
Yeah, it would typically never be in broad daylight. It would always be, right before dark. That was the times that everybody was riding the roads. There'd be 15 people out there, and you'd pass 2 or 3 more of them that you knew out there road hunting. Like
that was just what you did. You just hopped in the truck and rode around.
There goes Mark Hendricks. You wave at him, and he got his rifle laid up. Well, there goes Ricky, and he got his rifle laid up. And then you riding with your rifle laid up, and y'all just passing each other. Everybody looking for a deer out there.
So was it more of a bragging rights thing because you knew all these other guys would do it? Would y'all all have a little thing going on with who killed a deer? Or?
No, kind of just fell into it, and it was an exciting thing to do. Like I said, we grabbed a cold beer and jumped in the vehicle and kept the radio down. I don't know why, but if you had the radio up, felt like you still deer hunting somehow out of that vehicle. Oh. Turn radio down. All right, I can't see nothing. Turn it down. Yeah,
radio. That was your mobile blind, huh?
That was a mobile blind.
Now, were you still, back then, were you still as interested as going and sitting in a tree? And
oh, absolutely.
You still did that,
I still did that all the time. Yeah, I was hooked on that. I did that all the time. It's easy. It's a cheap way to do it.
Yeah.
It's easy. You don't learn till you grow up that, it's absolutely not the right way to go.
Yeah.
But you start figuring
You're not
things
advocating
out.
it now. You're just saying this is what, at the time.
When you get older, things change, and you're like, man, I shouldn't have been out doing that. But that's just that everybody was doing it, and I was right there with them. And I said, when we was brought up, we wasn't just road hunting. I mean, that what Terry didn't bring us up to road hunt.
No.
You know, if he was to see a monster buck on the side of the road or something, or jump across the street, he'd probably pull that 22 out and take some shots at him, see if we could get him. But it was mainly for us as growing up. It was about eating.
Yeah, well, I was getting at that. When you're out doing that, were you looking for horns, or are you just looking to kill some meat?
I'm going to get meat.
So it could be a doe.
It could have been a doe. It was the first one in the wrong spot or in the right spot at the wrong time, and that's the one I'd get. And I remember Mike told me one time he had got me for shooting that antlerless deer, and I wasn't road hunting. I was in the woods. I done let, 15 does walk under my stand. And finally, it was like 10 o'clock. I was like, man, it's time to get out of here. And I went on, laid it down, gutted it, did everything right. Well, all right, let's get on the four-wheeler and get down here to the main trail. As soon as we get to the main trail, there's Mike and Will sitting down there. And
these are the game wardens.
Yeah, that's the game wardens there. So I'm good to go. You know, I don't got no deer, no nothing. But I looked at my hands, and they bloody as they could be for gutting that deer. And so I pulled my coveralls down over my hands, and I just had my license between my two fingers there. And I went to slip it up to Will, and boy, he was brand new, boy. And what'd you kill? I'm going to give you one chance right now. You going to let me know? I said, man, I got a doe down right back there, buddy. And he said, well, come on, let's go get it. I said, well, let's go. So we went back there and got it, and that's what Mike told me. He said, man, y'all got to be lucky every time. I only got to be lucky once. All right. Oh,
he's right.
Yeah, and kind of stuck with me on that road hunting too.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that was one where you just happened to be in a place where you couldn't kill antlers.
Couldn't kill an antlerless deer. It was bucks only at that time. I want to say even the 4-point or better law might have been in place at that time in Mississippi. Yeah, but I done let so many walk. Man, I got to come out of here with something. I've been in here since an hour before daylight.
Did they take your doe?
Oh, yeah, he took my doe. Yeah, he got my doe.
Traded you for some paper?
Wrote me a nice old ticket. Yep, and I ended up seeing Will again down the road. This was probably a year later. We was fishing in the emergency spillway ditch down there at Arkabutla, and had our John boat in there, and I had a little trolling motor on the back. Didn't have no life vest on it. Didn't have it registered because I didn't think I could swim from it to either side of that ditch. And we was coming out, sure enough, here it comes. You could hear them tires just one, 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 one. I said, oh, man, no, it's not. I said, well, we're good to go. We ain't got nothing, nothing illegal, man. We're good this time. Oh, he found something wrong. He said, well, all right, well, where's your registration? I said, what I need that for? He said, you're under power. I said, that's a trolling mode. Don't matter, it's under power. I said, well, I don't got one. What about your PFDs? I said, man, I can swim to either side. Don't matter, got that PFD. I said, oh, man, I don't got that either. He wrote me for one no personal flotation device. So he cut me a break. And we loaded our boat up. It was me and Ricky and Bubba McCullough. We loaded that boat up, and it was in my little red Toyota. And he pulled up in front of us to pull out right there at that little pull-in at the emergency spillway, and he stopped. And I said, oh, man, what now? And he got out of his truck and come back there to us again. I'm just like, man, he tapped on that window. I said, yes, sir. He said, didn't I get you down there at Baldwin Road with that antlerless deer? I said, yes, sir. You sure? He said, man, you need to get your stuff together, buddy. I said, man, I didn't think I was going to see you out here. It could be anywhere at any time.
Oh man, that was you was telling me that the other day, and I was getting so tickled at that because Will now he's fixing to retire, or he's our age, he's getting close to retirement age, and just wondering how many people that he I know he remembers Randy because we were at a barbecue contest one time.
Yeah, we was out there at the barbecue that time.
Yeah, and anyways, we were sitting over there, and he comes up and Randy was out there with me, and he starts talking to Randy. And one of the guys that was at the contest, the cooking contest, came on to me and said, you need to go over and get your brother. Like, he's probably going to go to jail. I said, well, what is he doing? He was like, he's over there telling stories. He told that game warden that he was looking for him one time, and he was laying down hiding, and he could have untied his shoelaces. He was right on top of it.
So how'd that go down?
They were.
They was tracking you?
Yeah, they tracked us all night long. It was bad. It was one of the scariest situations I'd ever been in.
So how did this go down? Was y'all slipped out there one evening and was going to do a little road hunting?
We was just riding road hunting, and it's me and Bubba and Danny Red. God rest his soul. He gone now. He's a good old boy, but it was us three out there, and we was riding in Bubba's truck, and there's a doe standing out there, right there at the silos. And it was right at dark. So, man, boom. Well, that doe went belly up. Couldn't have went in a worse spot because she went belly up to the street. And, I mean, it's solid white out there. No matter how dark it was, it's solid white. But it was on out in the field. I was like, man, maybe nobody see it. We're going to come back and get her. So we went back, and we drank 4 or 5 beers. And me and Red and Ricky went back this time. Bubba said, man, I'm not going to go back. I got stuff to do. And, all right, I'm going to get that deer. So we go back out there, and man, Ricky dropped us off, and when he did, I mean, dadgum blue lights and headlights, and they's on them PAs, get on the ground now with your hands up or we're going to shoot. And Red, he's right beside me because we running right where I seen it at, but I don't see that white spot no more. We got the deer. And, man, we jumped off in the thicket. Started belly crawling, and I mean, they was coming through there. It was 2 or 3 police officers. It was some game wardens. It was the landowners. It was 4 or 5 of them in
truck.
They had
a posse for y'all.
They did, man. It was so scary. They was riding all over looking for us. And
they get the guy in the truck.
Yeah, they pulled him over right down there, Ricky. And, well, he lied his way right on out of that. I mean, they said, we know you dropped them 2 boys off down there. And Ricky said, I didn't drop nobody off down there. We saw you drop them off. He said, well, I hope you pull them out of the woods and prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law. I don't condone that stuff. Yeah. Yeah, they pulled him, but they let him go because they couldn't really get him for nothing. I guess if they
didn't have a gun, didn't have a light,
nothing. Gotta have evidence. And but Red, he was a red-haired boy, man. His skin white as it could be. It wasn't cold that evening. He had on that white shirt. So we run off in that thicket, man, and I was like, hey, you got to take your shirt off, dude. It is too white out here. And I'm pulling these old pine tree limbs over to kind of hide us. Red went to take that shirt off. Well, he was just as white underneath. So I said, oh, man, don't worry about it. I'm crawled over on top of him trying to block him in out there. And I mean, literally, there was flashlights and there was people walking from me to you, Malcolm. And they got Red. They got us, man. They got us. I said, shut up, Red. They don't got nothing yet. Just be quiet. That last truck come through and that last flashlight went on down the field shining inside. They didn't want to get in that thicket, man. It was thick. It was nothing but briars. And we jumped in that thicket on the outskirts of that field. You know how bad some of them thickets get right up next to a field. But, man, as soon as that last truck went by behind us and that last flashlight went, I grabbed his hand like it was my kid or something. Let's go. And we took off running. So we went from hunting deer to being a deer, being hunted. We was taking creeks and, fence rows, anything that would block us in. And we ended up we got out of that one, man. And that pretty much stopped me right there. I didn't need the ticket to tell me.
That was enough's enough.
That's enough right there. Yep. I don't think I've ever squeezed the trigger again offside road. That was a scary one, man. It was pretty scary.
That's usually what does people in. They get caught and they realize the severity of it, or how much trouble you can actually get into doing that. And it's like I said, I ain't trying to glorify this by no means, but it's some funny stories involved in there.
It is, yeah.
But
you got to be about half crazy, Randy.
Yeah. Them landowners, they was mad, man, and I know one of them. I won't mention his name, but he was mean already.
Yeah.
And I was pretty much scared of what he gonna do. He would have walked up and just shot me and said he had a gun. I didn't have no gun, but he could have said anything.
It could go bad.
It could have went bad, absolutely. You never know when you're out there on somebody's property. It can go south real quick. It can get ugly, man.
It sure can. I remember one time we had this lease that it was down in Tate County down there, and the man that leased the property to us, Marshall County or Tate County didn't have like that GIS system where you could look at the property lines back then. And back then there was I didn't even have a cell phone. And anyway, so you didn't have no mapping systems or nothing like that, So you pretty much had to go to the courthouse to see, what you were leasing, which I just trusted the old man. And man, there was the piece of property that he had I don't even remember what the size of it was, but anyways, we'll throw this out there. He leased us 100 acres and then owned 40. And anyways, we were hunting this piece of property, hunting around the edge of it, you know, kind of close to where we thought he told us the property lines were. And he was telling us, you know, this field's mine all the way out to the edge of this field. This is mine. This is mine. This ditch is mine all the way around through here. And anyways, I get up in my stand. It's like, it's opening morning of deer season. Well, I'd went in there and hung this, not climber, but a lock-on stand. I mean, it's about 30 feet in a tree, 25, 30. I'm sticking way up out of the daggone thicket there. And there wasn't like one tree out in this little cutover, and there was just big fields all the way around. Well, I knew I couldn't shoot anything but back to the left and maybe right up under the stand out in front of me a little bit, not far, because I knew the edge of the field was out there. But anyway, so that big bean field that was out in front of me while I was looking, I figured the deer were feeding there, coming back to the thicket where I was at. Well, I was sitting up in that stand looking out in there, out in that bean field, looking to see if I could see deer filtering back into the thicket, and I was going to shoot them as they came in the thicket where I was at. And I look out there, and the sun starts coming up, and I can see, I don't know, it was 25, 30 pickups sitting in that bean field, like facing me.
Looking at you.
They was there before I got there, and they were sitting in that bean field, and I said, well, they running dogs. I said, darn, them boys got out here early.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they wasn't running dogs. They was after me.
Lord.
Oh, yeah, here they come.
You sitting up there with your orange on.
Yeah, I'm
not hiding.
No, I'm not hiding. And them junkers come bouncing across them bean rows, boy. I'm talking about them pick. It looks like one of them derbies or something.
Yeah.
Man, they are coming. And they've run up in that thicket. One of them guys did, and he run in there, and man, he wasn't playing. Get your ass down now. Get down. I know where you parked at. I'll be at your truck. Grab your stand, grab your crap, and get your ass over there. I'll meet you over there. And I said, man, what is the problem?
Fire you up?
Yeah, I got mad, and I said, what's the problem? So me and him, exchanged words a little bit. I was trying to be cool with him. And he wasn't real bad. He was at first, and then he said, just come on down, and I'll meet you over there. Man, when I met him over there, man, them boys that was with him, I thought they was going to just beat me plumb to death.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when they got out of the truck, they wasn't messing around. They surrounded me over there up against my truck and went to hollering and cussing and stuff, me, and I wasn't taking much of that. And anyways, the boy that was kind of leading the group, I told him who I'd leased the property from, and he told me, yeah, that old man does this every year. We have to drag somebody out because he does this, and we're just tired of it, And he said, I didn't mean to come in there and be on you like that. I should have, thought about you not knowing where the property lines were and him telling everybody that same thing. But if some of them other boys had have caught me doing it and that guy had not have been there, it'd probably been bad for me. It'd have been real bad. Oh, yeah, they'd probably left me laying out there on the edge of that field.
Yeah.
It got pretty nasty for a little while. I was going after a guy, and he was coming after me, and that guy was trying to keep us apart, and I was like, man, I ain't listening to this.
That's a lot scarier than that ticket, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That ticket, sometimes it just made me mad, and I did 10 times worse after I paid it off. I'm going to get my money's worth out this ticket. So I'd go back out there on a rampage, and I'd have enough, meat for the season.
Did you ever lose your license?
One hunt. I did lose my license. Yeah, I think I lost them. That was the first one with Sylvester Johnson down there when first encounter with a game warden ever, and we was in Tunica. And we was riding the road, shooting rabbits off the road in the middle of the night. You could ride them gravel roads and ease off in the ditch a little bit. Man, them rabbits would go shooting all out across the street. So we had somebody hanging out every window of my little Toyota Corolla with a shotgun.
A Corolla?
A Toyota Corolla, sure enough. And, we was blazing them down, man.
Filled up the truck with rabbits. Most swamp rabbits?
A car. We kept going down the road, and we'd turn around, come right back, and it'd be just as many go out across the road. And
so when he's talking about this road, I didn't mean to stop you there. The road he's talking about is a cut-through road. It used to be a farm road, but they gravelled it. I guess county took it over. So it was right up against a bunch of bean and rice fields, and on the left-hand side is a railroad track.
Yeah.
But there's no houses on this thing from one end to the other until you get to the main roads, and there was one
house down there.
Yeah.
And it was an old shack. Didn't look like it had a telephone or nothing, so I wasn't worried about nothing.
It's in the middle of nowhere.
It is, yeah. And about time we had turned around to make one more pass down through there. Yeah, here he come. And he didn't have his lights on. He was just flying at us, and we didn't know. We'd never met no game warden. Boy, he flicked them lights on. I was like, oh, man, it's the police. And then I looked, and I was like, no, it ain't. It's a park ranger. What's he doing down here? And,
Parker.
yeah.
That's all you had seen at that point, right?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. He said, y'all gone and y'all got any guns in the vehicle? And I looked at Dustin. And I said, hey, man, did you get them guns out earlier where we was target shooting? He said, no, I think they're still in here. I said, it might be one or two in there. So y'all gonna step out with your hands up. And I said, man, ain't no way no park ranger's finna arrest me down here. You ain't got no authority down here. And about that time, he throwed me in handcuffs and hit me in the nose with a flashlight. And I realized real quick, all right, that guy got some authority right there.
That mag light said so.
He took every one of us to jail. It was even an old country girl in the car. I think she had shot a couple rabbits. Lisa, she was even in the car. It took every one of us down to the Tunica jail. And boy, that was a sad looking jail at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a bad situation. That same game warden ended up years down the road shooting his wife. So I was very lucky to have, the way I was talking to that man.
Yeah, y'all could have been left in the ditch. Huh?
We sure could have real quick, and he could have just rolled on down the road. Man, yeah, that was my first encounter with him there, though.
How many rabbits did he take with him?
He probably got 5 of them. I think that's about all we had. We was more drinking than shooting. We were doing our best, but them little guys is fast, especially when you're leaning out the window of a Toyota with a shotgun and you trying not to fall out the car because I'm driving. So
and shooting?
No, I wasn't shooting. I was driving.
Okay.
Yeah, I made sure we was in just that right rut before it got real muddy to get back out of it in that little car. I was running the rabbits. I was the dog. And they was just a shooting. Yeah.
Shooting rabbits. Went to jail over
shooting rabbits. Yeah, the judge down there. I said,
that's what I want to know. How did
that court go?
Well, when we got in there and there was, it was child support and domestic and all this stuff going on. And they said, all right, hunting rabbits out of season, shooting off a public road, hunting out of a motorized vehicle. And the whole court kind of turns around and looks and it's like, how
y'all was out of place, wasn't you?
Y'all way out of place, man. How y'all plead? I said, man, I'm guilty. He said, all right. I won't say it was around $400-500 in fines, something like that. Took my license. I said, I'm going to get my guns back. He said, yep, you're going to get your guns back as soon as you pay these fines. And he said, never forget it. Looked right at me and said, in my day, we could do stuff like that. And it was fun. He said, but you just can't do it no more, son.
That's what the judge said.
That's what the judge told me. Yeah. I said, yes, sir.
It was fun, I'm sure.
No,
I'm sure that was it. I mean, somebody had to teach somebody else how to do that over the years, So
y'all didn't invent it.
No, we didn't invent it.
No,
we learned it from somebody else.
So, did you get your guns back?
I got all my guns back. It was just my 410, 20 gauge. I think I had my 12 gauge at the time in there too. And my buddy, he's in the back. He was a little different than we are. He had a 9mm trying to shoot him.
Trying to shoot a rabbit?
Trying to shoot a rabbit, yeah. Brian Quarles.
That was a damn mess. Can you see
that
Toyota Corolla going down that dusty gravel road with just fire popping out?
There was fire coming out every window but the driver's side because I was driving.
He had to have just been riding around and saw y'all shooting or something.
That one house that I said, man, can't nobody live there. That's the ones that called in on him because the judge asked him, he said, Mr. Johnson, did you see these boys shoot off the road? And he said, no, sir. He said, but a lady called in and described their car to the T, and it had rabbits in it, and I'm guilty. Guilty, yep. Guilty as charged.
Did they tow your car and everything?
Yeah.
So you had to get that out of him.
Well, I think my dad went out there and got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, did you take a good lashing from him?
Somewhat.
Yeah.
I mean, he give me that old lecture again. Just can't be doing stuff like that. I was paying my own stuff at the time, so he was done paying for me, going to jail.
That was your lesson to learn. Huh?
That was my lesson learned, right? Well, it should have been a lesson learned.
Well, I remember, a long time ago, Dad, he come home. We talked about this not long ago, but back when the Arkabutla Dam, the water came up in the lake really, really high one time. And anyways, when it did, it come over what we call the emergency spillway, the blue hole. So when it run over that, it cut that water has to go. It was going back to the river. So what it done was it ran through the park over there, and it just flooded those woods out there in that park, because the river channel kind of silted in. There really wasn't one left, after they, redid the dam and all that. And so the river channel was just little small pockets and holes through the woods out through there. A little creek run through them. And anyways, it flooded all this. Well, all those fish got trapped in there. Once the water receded and that overflow spillway stopped going, they got trapped out in the woods. So me and Randy and Daddy, and we would go back in there and we'd fish in those holes. Well, we got back there and we found a couple, 4 or 5 of them, 6 of them that were pretty good sized holes, deep holes. And we go back there and we'd buy minnows or something, go back there and fish. Well, Daddy got tired of buying minnows. So one day me and Randy come home from school and he's got this net.
It's a throw net.
He's got it sitting on the porch.
It wasn't a big one either. It was like a 3 or 5 foot throw net, not one of them monsters, because we just learning about it.
Yep. So Dad had that thing sitting there waiting on me and Randy. He said, "Here, boys, need y'all to figure out how to throw this thing. We're going fishing." So me and Randy, no homework that day or whatever. We get out there in the yard and we're pitching that thing. We're trying to figure out how to throw this thing, get it to open up. And we can throw it, but it's not doing right. We finally figure out how to throw this thing, and I'll just let you go ahead and tell.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was Elbow Creek's what it was, too, that we was throwing it in. It was the first little channel that shot off of the spillway down there and went back up in there. But like Mikey said, the water would flow down into it. And we took that throw net down there, and I mean, that first throw, whenever we throwed it out there where you'd sit 2 or 3 hours and catch 4 or 5 crappie or big old bass, that first throw, you couldn't hardly pull that net in.
It was full.
It was full, man. 2, 3, 4, 5 pound bass, crappie, everything. We just dumped it out on the bank, and Terry was loading it up, and we'd throw it again, man. I mean,
he was feeling coolers and buckets, whatever you had.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He had them baskets, man. He's always had that basket. And that basket, boy, I'm talking about the handle on it, straight bent in two, trying to get it out of there.
Yeah.
Done widened out and stuffed it so much in there that you couldn't hardly get the fish out when you got them home. But, yeah, we put a hurting on them with that.
We would, Daddy would come in. It was kind of the same thing with the trespassing. So
would you walk? Because you'd have to walk those fish all the way back to the truck, right?
He would let us out at the main entrance with the net, the basket. No, he would take the basket. He would let us out with that net, me and Randy, and I don't know, how old were we? Young teenagers.
I was
11, 12, 13,
12, and so that put you at 14.
Yeah, so we were fairly young. He'd let us out over at that main entrance, and we would walk through those woods.
Slip through those woods
with that net. He would go around to the spillway, pull in, get his fishing pole out, get his net and his tackle box, and he would meet us. We knew where we were going before we ever got there. He'd tell us, we're going to that back hole, or we had names for them. Mm-hmm. And anyways, he would say, "Meet me at that one." Well, yes, sir. And he would let us out of the truck right there at the main end. Now, this walk is, I don't know maybe a mile.
It was a mile, yeah.
Through the woods. I mean, through cane thickets and, stuff. And we would generally try to find a trail, but we'd try to stay off of them just because of other people.
It's like a nature trail.
Or anything like that being on them.
Yeah, because there's walking trails.
There's walking trails in there, yeah. People, they was there then. Yeah. People would walk down there, yeah.
But we would slip in down through there with that net, and Dad would come around, and he would meet us at the hole, and there was a big levee right there on the edge of it when we got closer to the river there. So Dad would stand on top of it, and then he would sit up there, and me and Randy, we'd meet him there, and we'd go down and start throwing, and we knew that whistling thing. Dad, he whistled, that meant put the net up, get the fish, and take off and get in the thicket.
Hide them.
And he would be standing up there with the fishing pole watching out for us. So
he was the lookout.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me and Randy were the ones that were down in the ditch doing it, but man, he ain't lying. We'd throw that freaking net in there. Son, it didn't feel like it was hung up. And you knew when you had some fish, it would move, but it felt like it was hung. It was so heavy. And you'd pull it up, and then, I ain't kidding, we've had some trophy crappie and trophy. I'm talking about trophy bass.
They all went in the grease.
Every one of them. That's why everybody asks me now, "Man, you don't like them bass?" Man, if he's under a pound, I won't ever eat another one over a pound or two, because they get greasy. They won't even float in the grease. They so greasy.
Yeah.
No, I ate enough of them when I was a kid. Yeah, we ate everything.
We dragging fish all the way back out through that thicket. Dad toot the horn. Burp, burp, burp. We knew it was him.
So y'all would take them all the way back out to the entrance?
Take him all the way back
all
out.
the way back out. Me and Furness went down there one day. We had found Bay Jones' liquor bottle that night, so we done got right where we needed to be. He always hid it in a culvert, and I was jogging at the time, and I seen him. He'd always be in that culvert, pulling stuff out of that culvert. Man, he works on that culvert a lot.
That's where he kept his stash.
Oh, yeah. I'd asked Teresa, man, he's always, that's where he keeps his stash. Yeah, it keeps away from Miss Florence. I said, oh, man, all right. So, well, that Friday night, I went through there and told Danny Furness, drop me off right here. I'm going to run down there. And I reached up in that culvert. Sure enough, it was a big old handle of liquor. Me and him got on that. So next morning, we had to be
Y'all stole the man's liquor?
We stole his liquor. Yeah, we drank it.
Finders keepers on that.
Him and his wife probably got in a battle the next day. And he probably thought she found it, but I done found his liquor stash. And we got into it. And that next morning, boy, them eyes was all swollen up. And you still feeling it because we'd been up shooting that nasty stuff all night with Gatorade. And we went down there to Elbow Creek. We had one fishing pole with a little black jig on it. And I said, man, I know some holes down here. I bet we could go down here and maybe snag them. We used to go down here and throw this net. And that water would do the same thing. When the spillway came up really high, it would go back down, and them fish would run up in that creek, and they'd get caught in them holes again, even when the spillway went up and down. So we went in there, and I got off in the water, man, was looking around. You could see them from up on top of the hill. The water set way down, so you could, the sun hit right, you could see them big old fish down there. I said, man, look down there. There's fish everywhere. So we go down there, and you couldn't snag them. So I said, I'm getting in the water. You know, I'm still feeling it. I got off in the water, man, and I'm trying to reach around, and I grab one, man. I got one. I throwed him up on the bank. It was a big old grinnell. Danny Furness, he ain't much. He said, man, what is that? I said, don't touch it, man. Don't lip him, whatever you do. That's a grinnell. He'll tear you up. That next one, big old bass. Throwed him up on the bank. Kept on messing around, lost a couple. Well, I'm in this same little hole, not realizing that they starting to come up around me. Because that water done got muddy in that little old hole. And I mean, it was fish coming up everywhere. So I'm just would wait for the right time, just grab one of them big old bass by the mouth, and I was throwing them on the bank. Man, we muddied that hole so bad. Went up to the next one, did the same thing. We had done got some sticks, a little smaller than this microphone right here, about from here to you, Malcolm, and we done shaved them down, and we run them through all their gills, and we come walking right out the main entrance right there where everybody's fishing on Elbow Creek, and everybody looking, and where did y'all get all them fish good? And man, it's a hole back there. You got to have this little black jig, though. Y'all caught every one of them on that black jig? Yes, sir. And I mean, they're down there. You see tackle boxes flying open. Yeah. Looking for them black jigs, yeah.
You should have went over to Outfitters, got some incentive on them black jigs, because you know everybody left and came back to the store and bought them out of them black jigs.
It filled up with people. It's called Elbow Creek because literally them folks was elbow to elbow fishing in that creek, man.
It's known for it.
Yeah.
It used to be the crappie spot right there.
Yeah.
Elbow Creek.
I fished it many a times. Yeah, legally. We went out one night and was fishing it. Me and Dustin, and the water was down a little bit. It only came up in there to that first little bridge that goes across, and it was really shallow right there. And so I'm down there trying to snag the crappie at the mouth of it. It created a little eddy right there under that big bridge they got built. So I was trying to snag the crappie there. Dustin, he took the spotlight and went up the creek, and he said, man, there's crappie everywhere up here. And I know Dustin, he ain't the best fisher. So I'm like, man, he done seen a school of shad up there, and he keeps yelling about them. I said, man, there's probably shad. No, they're crappie. So I go up there with him, and I be dog, man, it was nothing but slabs in water. Their fins was almost out of the water, and that water was clear because it was trickling in from that same creek where the holes was. And we was spotlighting them, and you could take them hooks and throw them right across their back. When you yanked, if it didn't hook him, it just rolled him over, and he'd stand right back up and sit there. Never took off, never nothing. It was the damnedest thing I ever did, spotlighting crappie. Yeah.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, it was a crazy one. We caught a bunch of them that night, but it's legal to snag now. So it makes you wonder, like, how many of them do you hit with them hooks, and it just rolls them out? How many of them could be out there? Because when you catch them every other throw, we're up there, and I'm watching him. I got a treble hook on, and it didn't hit him just right, and it just rolled him over, and he never went nowhere. He sit right there in the same spot, like didn't take off or nothing.
What do you think? I mean, I know y'all growed up on Arkabutla Lake. Y'all know what it's doing right now with the Corps having to rebuild the levees because they say it's a problem. What do you think it's going to do to the fishing of that lake? Is it ever going to be back to like when y'all saw it in its prime?
I'll probably be 60 or 70 by the time it is.
We won't be able to make it out there probably by that time.
Last thing I got was 2035. I want to say was the refill date, 2035. And so many fish died. I seen it firsthand. I mean, it was solid white.
Did you go out there when they drained it?
50 yards of dead fish that circled the entire lake.
Wow.
I got people calling me that live down in Pritchard and live down in Marks, Mississippi, and sending me videos of it
coming down,
flowing solid white. The whole Coldwater River's white with dead fish. So
did they go through the dam?
Yeah.
They went through it and down the spillway?
Yeah, they was taking them and dumping them, putting them in the bushes over there, man. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It was unreal, man, just to see something that you loved so much your whole life that is just, it's gone for a long time.
Generations. I mean.
Yeah, a long time. So I was thinking, man, if they refilled it today, and I heard they got no plan of restocking it. I mean, it'll restock itself over time, but
yeah.
That's going to take a long time to get to, what we was doing out there as far as like just going out there. I had everything marked in my phone where I needed to be at, no matter what the level was, and knew right where to go, and we could catch us a limit of crappie. But not no more. Yeah, it's devastating to see that. I still go out there and hunt, still go out there and like to look at it, man, but there's willow trees out there now, big as your ankle, growed up out there in the middle.
Just in the middle of the lake.
Yeah, everywhere.
I've seen pictures of it. It looks like a forest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I rode out across the bottom yesterday. I looked out there and it's like, good night, man. How do you? I mean, I get used to. You could hunt it pretty. I ain't gonna say easily. It was still a challenge to hunt out there, but now the whole bottom is thicket. I mean, it is nothing but however many thousand acres it is out there, just thicket.
I bet if you gave it 5 or 10 years after the refill, you'd be catching some fish though. Because I remember Hugh, he was raised up on it not long after that it was built. And
the lake was built.
When it was built, yeah. And he used to tell me about how that, down there at the killing pen, what it used to look like, how it was all growed up, cypresses everywhere. And, it was just nothing but bare mud when we sticked it. If you put a stake bed out, that's where the fish came to. But he was describing how it used to look and how it looks so different now, how it's all silted in. So it'll get back right. It's just going to take time. And I understand, you got a hole in it. You got to protect what's downstream. So if anything bad ever happened.
Yeah, it's devastating to look out there and see it now. I mean, all those fishing holes that we had and places that we used to spend time with our parents and then with our kids and stuff like that. And, teaching our kids is kind of the same rite of passage we had and where to fish at and when and different places to go catch different species of fish at certain times of the year. And all that's pretty much over now.
I had many good fishing trips out there. I know that. Whether I was in my bass boat I used to have or just going in on the four-wheeler. It was fun.
So what are you looking forward to this year hunting season, Randy?
This year hunting season, probably sitting at my bar at my deer camp, looking out the window, not doing much of nothing, man. I just get away from the stress of what I deal with what I do now.
Yeah.
And get away from the kids. I may get in there. I take my kids hunting, we go out there and set up in one of my Cadillac stands where it's got the heaters and the insulation and all that, just so they don't get, like, I don't want them to be like me and Mikey. Sometimes I hated to go because I knew I'm fixing to go freeze to death the minute I get up there, man. So I get them some rubber boots and stuff, and then we'll do some hard hunting every now and then. I call it hard. I'll go sit on the side of a ridge or something looking at a big bottom and get them out there, and we'll sit till dark. So my daughter, she's probably the best at it.
Are your kids old enough to want to get into hunting?
Oh, yeah. Lila, I think she's killed 4 now, maybe.
Oh, good.
So she's killed 4. And little Waylon, I took him last year and told Lila, you done got 2 this year. Let's let Waylon try to get one. He's 6.
Yeah.
So he sits down beside me, and he's looking around. And he's used to seeing them squirrels we shoot at sometimes at the house. And Dad, there ain't no deer. I was like, man, we ain't been here 5 minutes, buddy. It's going to take some time. Well, this ain't no fun here. This ain't. I said, well, they're not like squirrels, man, up there at the house. They're not just going to come running all around us.
You got to be patient.
That's right. Yeah, Lila, she understands that, but he don't.
He might be more of a rabbit hunter.
Yeah, maybe. We need to go kick a thicket with him.
Yeah. They want some action.
You so you talking about kids taking them hunting and stuff like that, and killing deer and stuff. So what's been the most challenging thing taking your own kids hunting?
Probably just the patience, and then me knowing exactly what needs to be done, trying to instill that into them without being kind of a butthole about it. And it's hard not to, like, you want everything to be right and perfect. It's like, hey, you got the shot. Won't you shoot? Huh? And it's like, man, I done shot. Why didn't you shoot? What are you doing? But I try to, that's probably the hardest thing.
Yeah. It's not only their patience being still, it's your patience.
My patience, man. My patience.
It was like that with my son taking them.
It's my patience.
They don't realize how good they got it. Being able to sit in a box blind, like you said, maybe with the heater.
Yep.
Probably got all the snacks they want.
I got everything they need in there. Yep, absolutely.
You done planted the food plots for them. They just got to sit there and be patient.
Now they got their phones pick up, so I'll let her play on it for a little bit.
Yeah.
Not much, but I'll let her play on a little bit. So hey, you got to get off that. If they want to take a nap, I'll look over, and 1 minute she's looking out the window, and the next minute she's over there snoring. I'll let her go for a little while, man. I know I got tired in that deer stand. Try to think back to everything that happened to me. When I was younger.
We didn't have no screens to mess with.
No, we did.
Had a snack. A pack of crack nabs or beef jerky or something.
I don't
That's about it.
No snacks.
You don't ever no snack?
I don't think so. If you didn't get it before you left the house.
No, we didn't. We didn't have no snacks. We came back.
An orange. Yeah, Daddy let us. We put an orange apple in our pocket.
Yeah.
Mom would have us some breakfast when we got back.
Yeah. You're right though. Them old lacrosse. I call them concrete boots. Same boots they pour concrete in. Daddy'd buy them things for us, and Randy got my hand-me-downs.
No thinsulate.
No,
rubber boot.
No. There's many times I was out there with them, not garbage bags, but the grocery sacks, whatever, strapped around your feet with some duct tape, and then you put the boots on, because they done had holes all in it. These boots got holes in them. We can't afford no more, so you got to wrap up your feet, man, before you go out there.
That was our secret. We put them old Kroger sacks on.
Yeah.
Over your socks, and then
put them on,
tape them up.
Tape it up.
Put in.
Yeah.
Oh, man, don't nobody know nothing about that. Kroger.
I didn't have lacrosse. We had, what was it, Red Ball or whatever that old cheap co-op boot was.
Yeah. I can't remember the brand name of them, but yeah, it was something like that. But yeah, those black lacrosse boots, and man,
usually had old pair of hand-me-down coveralls. They probably wasn't camo.
No, the coveralls
green.
No, the coveralls are just brown or green or black, blue.
Yeah,
those were the colors you had to choose from. And then I guess the first pair of camouflage coveralls that I ever got was a pair of it was a one that all the kids wear now. The camouflage is like brown and
the old army style,
kind of army style camouflage on a pair of Winchester coveralls, and that was the first pair of camouflage coveralls that I ever had. Randy was still in the old Carhartt brown ones. And boy, he'd wear them things till your arms wouldn't sit down, man. We didn't get no new ones until your hands had to be hanging out of them 6 or 8 inches.
Yeah, that's when you got those. Mine probably had paint on them and all kind of stuff from where we was working. And if they was camo, they wasn't no more by then. They done bleached out about like that table right there.
Well, if you had to pick, Randy, hunting or fishing, what are you picking?
Definitely fishing.
Fishing? Okay.
Definitely fishing. Crappie fishing is all I like to do.
That's it.
I gave up turkey hunting just to crappie fish. I'd just make phone calls. If I heard one gobbling, I'd call my buddy, say, hey, man, this one over here just thundering off.
Yeah.
And you need to come get him. And I'd just sit out there and crappie fish. So I definitely like fishing more, but it's strictly crappie fishing. Like, I like the bass fish. I like to catch a big old bass, but I like to eat crappie. So I'm still a eater of what I like to kill and catch. So
have you got into that live scoping yet?
I have not. I don't.
Do it the old-fashioned way?
Do it the old-fashioned way, man. I go out there and throw some structure out and wait on the right time and see did they come to it. If they didn't, you try a different spot, and wherever they started coming to, that's when you load that spot down. and then wear them out when it's time and get the freezer full. And all right, we can move on now. It's time to do something else. We can catfish or something.
Yeah. I did see that video y'all did where it was Randy. It took you, y'all were, had the waders on, was out there fishing, wasn't you?
Yeah. We did a video. That was the last time I fished Arkabutla Lake.
Was that before they started draining it when y'all did that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still have any spots where you can wade fish in the spring?
Not at all. Arkabutla was my number one, and the 2 lakes I live on now, never hardly once fished them. Just go out there and hang out and maybe throw some minnows. So I stayed at Arkabutla fishing. So everybody always asks me, man, where do we catch some fish at, man? I don't know. Go to Arkabutla sometime.
Where are you catching them at now?
Catch them.
Enid or Grenada?
Yeah,
Sardis, I guess.
Probably Enid down there.
Yeah. You ain't gonna tell nobody your spots.
Man, a good fisherman's gonna lie to you.
That's like the turkey. Nobody tells you where the turkeys are either.
I'm about the best liar you'll ever meet, buddy.
Going down to eat it.
I'm not gonna tell you. I did make a video one time. Now that Arkabutla's closed, I can go and tell the truth. But I made a good video, man. There's over 90,000 people done watched it, and it was Enid Lake crappie fishing. Well, I was sitting right out there in Arkabutla wearing them out, man. And I kept saying, y'all need to get on down here at Enid, man. We are wearing them out down here.
Two of them cabins right there on the highway.
Yeah. And even some of my best friends say, hey, man, you gonna take me crappie fishing? Man, they're not biting right now. Yeah. And I'm steadily going down there, coming home with them. About the time it was just about over. All right, man, I'll carry you down there. Yeah, don't ever tell your fishing hole, because if you do, man, it's a chain reaction. That somebody's going to carry somebody, and then that somebody carries his somebody, and then it's just on and on and on. Before you know it, you go down there, and it's trucks everywhere where there was never no truck.
I do remember one time that Johnny said you had him fishing in a damn mud puddle.
Yeah, he said it was took me down there and had me fishing in a cow hoof track. That's all I was fishing in, nothing but mud down there in a little hole of water. Yeah. Well, we caught him in what he called a hoof track before and wore them out down there. It didn't take much when the Arkabutla did come up. They'd run up in them shallow creeks, man.
That's when you throw them old pink and white jigs, ain't it?
Oh, yeah. I like my black and hot pink. Yeah, that was my number one right there always.
Well, that's about all we got for today, fellas.
Well, Mr. Randy, I sure appreciate you coming in and talking with us, sharing some of those stories, man. I love it. It reminds me of being at deer camp. That's some of the best things about it, being able to sit around and tell the tale.
I'll get back in here with y'all one day. I've probably still got another 20 of them that's some showing up dudes.
Well, we're looking forward to youth season because our kids done got too old, and I know you got a few that's still old enough, so we're going to have to get y'all down for the youth weekend at our camp.
Oh, I know they'd love that. That's all mine want to do is go to my deer camp. Yeah. And like I said, whether we kill something or not, they love going down there because at least we can set up some targets, set up something, they can shoot at it and hone their skills in. They think they're just having fun, but I'm honing them skills on them. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. I'd enjoy that.
Well, Malcolm, you want to take us out of here?
Yeah. Well, we appreciate y'all hanging in there with us today. We still got our contest going on, Mikey?
Pretty sure we got the contest still going on. Not sure if it'll still be going on by the time this
one releases. We'll be ready to announce it. This was the one where we had everybody go to the website and just post what kind of recipe you'd like to see us cook or your favorite one. It don't have to be the full recipe, just the name of it. Give us a description so we can tell what it is if we want to make it. But we're going to pick one. That's the one we're giving away, that big cutting board, our Buck Junkie knives, and then we're going to give out some seasonings as well. So even if you don't win in first place, I think we're still going to send 2 and 3 some seasonings for y'all to try out. But y'all keep an eye out for that. We'll announce that probably next week. Next week's podcast or either on Facebook. But we'll keep y'all posted on that. But that post is pinned to the top on the Facebook Buck Junkies Outdoors Club fan page. So y'all go check that out, and man, we're getting closer and closer to rifle season.
Almost here.
It's almost here. I'm starting to see the deer move around a little more, and the bucks are getting a little frisky. Got some big old does, some freezer queens. We're gonna put in the. I can't wait.
I'm out of sausage. I'm gonna put one's head down in the dirt pretty quick this year.
Well, hey, y'all keep on hanging in there with us, and we'll be back next week to do it all again. We gone.
See you.